Hi everyone! Today I will talk to you about voice registration. Vocal register is a series of pitches or notes that have a similar timbre or a similar sound quality to it. Now your voice consists of many different registers. We have vocal fry or pulse, we have a flute register, we have chest register, we have head voice, we have falsetto. But today I would like to really just focus on your head voice and your chest voice. You know when you hear people singing from a low to a high pitch and they do it very nicely, it's not because they were born without registers. It just means that they worked really hard to navigate these registers and they know how it feels to sing in, let's say, a chest voice and head voice, and how to just navigate the transitions between the two. Now, your chest voice has a fuller tone. Most people speak in it. You can actually feel vibration in your chest as you're singing or as you're speaking. So when I say, hello, how are you doing? You can put your hands right here on your chest and say it with me. Go ahead. You can feel the vibration. Your head voice is less strong, less full, and you won't feel the vibration in your chest, but you might feel the vibration in your skull, in your head, or sometimes people say in the back of their necks. Now, if you can't feel that, that's okay. What you can think of when you're using your head voice is just kind of speaking to your pet or a baby. You know, when you go, oh, hello, oh my God, you're so cute. Or you say to your dog, oh, good boy, good boy. That's all your head voice that you are using. Before I move on to giving you some tips on how to find your head and chest voice and how to work with them, I have to explain a couple things about the anatomy of your voice, so please bear with me. Now, when we are singing or speaking, our vocal folds are vibrating. In your chest voice, your whole vocal fold, the full length of the vocal fold, vibrates. And that is why your chest voice is fuller. It has more mass engaged. Your vocal folds when you're singing in your chest voice are shortened, and because of that, thicker as well. Now, in your head voice, your vocal folds elongate and they become thinner. So only the edges, only the ligaments of your vocal folds are now vibrating. And because of that, your voice register sounds softer and thinner. Now, it would be great and the easiest way for us to just sing everything in our head voice or just sing everything in our chest voice, but unfortunately, we cannot do that because of the way that our body works. There are two muscles in your throat and your larynx that shorten or lengthen your vocal folds. The first one, TA muscle or thyroarytenoid muscle, shortens your vocal folds and creates lower pitches. The second, the CT or cricothyroid muscle, stretches your vocal folds, and because of that, your vocal folds create higher pitches. Now, to explain this to you, I will take a little hairband here and I will show you how this works. So right now, let's say you are singing in your chest voice. Your TA muscle is involved and your vocal folds are thick and they're vibrating and creating low pitches. Now you start singing higher and your TA muscle is still working, but the CT muscle that starts stretching the vocal fold more and more starts getting engaged more and more. And now slowly the CT muscle takes over and the TA muscle can just relax. And when your CT muscle is fully engaged, this is when you're singing in your head voice. When you start singing from your head voice and you go lower from the head voice, your CT muscles is stretching, less and less engagement, and then slowly the TA muscle takes over, and now when the CT muscle is completely disengaged, you're singing in your chest voice. Now these two muscles have a symbiotic relationship, kind of like your biceps and your triceps. So when one muscle stretches, the second one gets longer and vice versa. Now what can happen when you're singing is a vocal break. And if that happens, what it means is that your TA muscle is working, is engaged, the CT muscle starts taking over, and instead of this transition being smooth, your TA muscle suddenly just breaks and it's not working anymore. Now what you can do to help this break is to help the two muscles working together throughout these areas, and then you can get a seamless break. Now vocal breaks are its own big topic that I talk about in a separate video. You can check in the card right up here or down below in the description. To find your chest or head voice, there are a couple of different ways that you can use. The easiest way to find your head voice, like I mentioned earlier, talk to the baby, talk to the pet. You can also use this sound. Whoo, whoo! It's like an owl sound, or like a little choo-choo train or train whistle. Whoo, whoo! So those are both head voices. When you want to engage the chest voice, you just have to normally speak. And what you can try after that is also just sing right from here. Happy birthday to you. And you can feel the vibration. And when that is happening, you know that you're singing in your chest voice. I'll give you a couple tips now on how to work with your chest and your head voice. The first very important thing for you is to map your voice. Create a map of where your chest voice stops and where your head voice starts. That way you will find the areas where your voice breaks or where your voice can be pretty problematic. Now, after that, you will also learn where in voice break, or we also call it passaggio, you can choose then to use your head voice, or maybe where you can choose to use the chest voice. The second very important thing, you have to get really comfortable with your head voice. Use it for speaking all the time. Try to sing like this as much as you can so you can get comfortable. You can really internalize that feeling of what the head voice feels like. The third thing is that you have to get comfortable with your passaggio, with your breaks. If you don't know your breaks of your voice very well, it will be very, very hard for you to work through them, to navigate them, and you will have really hard time getting into the place where you can just have smooth transitions between all your registers. The fourth tip is when you're approaching your chest voice from your head voice, don't try to force it too much. What you can think of is the airplane landing, and you can just sing ah, so it's very nice and smooth. Don't slam it. Ah, the transition is going to be a lot harder if you try to push too much. What you can think of is just back off a little bit as you're approaching your chest voice. Ah, and you can work through that slowly. Take your time. The last very important thing for you to remember while working with your chest, head voice, and different registers is that every register shifts depending on the singer. What that means is that your chest voice might be higher than somebody else's chest voice. And your head voice might actually be lower. The last important thing for you to remember is that registers shift depending on the singer. What that means is that where your chest voice lays on the range might be different from somebody else's. Your head voice might be positioned higher than somebody else's head voice. And because of that, your voice breaks will be in different parts of your voice. So take your time to explore your voice, to map it out, to really dig into those voice breaks and just experiment with it and get comfortable. I hope that this video helped you with your understanding of chest and head voice a little bit more. Thank you all for watching, and remember to keep on singing.